Hey guys, what's up? Spectre here, and recently Paradox Interactive revealed the next playable clan in Bloodlines 2, the Ventrue. There's also a bit of other news to get into as well, so let's jump in. The Ventrue are the fourth clan out of 5 that will be featured in Paradox's upcoming RPG, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Known to some as the Royal Clan, the Ventrue are some of the most dominant in society. These snobby succubi influence local governments, big corporations, and basically run the vampire underworld. They founded the Camarilla and enforced the Masquerade. They didn't become so powerful without a bit of manipulation, a theme central to their powers and the in-game mechanics that come with them. As with the other clans, joining the Ventrue will provide 2 new disciplines along with their own powers. The first skill path is called Dominate. This path will allow you to cast Mesmerize, hypnotizing NPCs and placing them in a deep daze. This trance will numb them to pain and make them unaware of their surroundings. Command allows you to take control of that mesmerized NPC. You can then command them to attack other NPCs or manipulate in-game objects. The next discipline is Fortitude. Players will be able to enter a combat stance that helps absorb damage and even heal wounds. And finally, Personal Armor. It will turn your skin into stone, allowing you to take incredible amounts of damage. Each clan comes with its own caveats, and it turns out that the Ventrue are more discerning when it comes to feeding. You won't be able to gain as much sustenance from rats or old drunks, as the Royal Clan feeds on only the very best. Resonance is an important stat in Bloodlines 2, and every victim has it. The more intense they're feeling at the time, or their emotional state, will determine their resonance, and Ventrue vampires need victims with very high resonance. With 4 clans announced, that leaves only one. Who do you think it'll be? My money is on Malkavians. In another story, Polygon recently sat down for an interview with some of the writers behind Bloodlines 2, and we learned a few tasty new details. Narrative lead Brian Mitsoda and senior writer Kara Ellison gave us more of an idea of what we can expect from Bloodlines 2. Mitsoda and Ellison seem to be bringing 2 pretty important aspects to the table when it comes to creating the seedy underworld of Seattle. For Mitsoda, realism seems to be of high importance. Not in a graphical sense, but in a narrative sense. He's trying to create a world that feels lived in, not one that exists for the benefit of the player. NPCs and other characters will have their own motivations, and no one is waiting for a chosen savior in this game. In fact, you aren't the savior. Mitsoda is quick to remind players that they are in fact the monster, saying, "What I like about Vampire was that it was the real world. It was kind of this hidden dark side of the world, and that you're not playing a hero in this, you're playing a monster." And that to me is already different than every other RPG out there. In a lot of RPGs, everyone is kind of waiting around for the hero to get there. Their whole life has led up to meeting you and telling you something important, and then they're done. We're trying to build a living world. And you have to have characters that feel like they're a part of the world, that they're not just there for the player's benefit. Ellison, on the other hand, wants to introduce some new elements into the narrative that provide true depth. She wants to explore the transitional phase of becoming a vampire. What does it mean to shed your humanity? Voyeurism is also another theme central to the game's narrative and gameplay, as you'll be spending a lot of time hunting down your prey. Vampires are hunters, watching their prey from the shadows, waiting for a time to strike. Specifically, she said, "We do look at it as if you can significantly affect the world. And one of the ways that we look at our world is that we're trying to make it really reactive to the way that you play and how you act as a vampire. The more you break the masquerade, the more consequences are gonna come your way. The more you're out in the open, people realize that there's a frickin' monster on the streets. The more afraid people get, and the harder it is to feed. You won't always be in control, however. As devs have said in the past, this isn't just Vampire the Masquerade. This is the world of darkness. We let you choose who you play as a vampire," Ellison said. "We're trying to make this fantasy available to everyone, but there are also things in the world of darkness that are more powerful than you, that are more scary than you, and you're not always going to feel like you're in control of the situation." All in all, I'm very excited to see the direction that Bloodlines 2 takes the world of Vampire the Masquerade, and the world of darkness. We have a few more months until release, and still have one more playable clan just waiting to be announced. For reference, I've also listed my sources in the description, in case you want to read a bit more in depth. Make sure to sub so you don't miss out on any more Bloodlines 2 news or lore, and for coverage of games like Borderlands 3 and Cyberpunk 2077. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.